We'll go back to Chess of Blades. We got it on last episode. We got it on. So let's get on some more, shall we? Oh, right. He was like, chocolate.
Don't put that there. It tickles.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't mentally prepared. Irvian, please. I am thinking he's having a dream of Franz just licking chocolate off of him or something. 50 seconds and we're already way too deep into this. A loud knocking on my door suddenly burst the bubble of my pleasant dreams. Startled awake, I pushed myself upright, blinking to rid my eyes of haziness. Outside my window, the sky is unusually dark. The soft pattering of droplets against the glass makes me realize it must be storming.
Coming. I'm coming. One moment.
Still dreaming of that chocolate. I pull on my clothes as fast as I can, missing a few buttons, and rush over to the door to pull it open. Wear pajama pants, Rivian, damn. What is up? Rather than the face of someone I was expecting, like Franz or Silas, the person standing before me is none other than Hazel's mother, the maid Emily.
Sir Rivian, it's terrible. I did something awful.
Why are you
Please
coming to
help
me? Why me? Looking like she's about to break into tears, Emily bites her lower lip and stares up at me pleadingly.
Let's calm down, shall we? Step inside for a moment and tell me what happened.
I gesture for her to enter my room a bit awkwardly. She hurries past the door with an anxious nod. Well, what an excellent start to my morning. A hysterical maid begging for my help. I'm sure this can only portend great things for the rest of the day. It's really dark in here. After I close the door behind us, I turn back to Emily, frowning at her desperate expression.
Slow down for a moment, Emily, and take a deep breath. Now, what's the matter?
It's Lady Valora. She's been apprehended by the guards.
Crazy old witch deserved it, I guess. I blink. Surely I must have misheard her. My aunt arrested?
Are you sure you're talking about Valora, the King's Foreign Affairs Advisor? Old stuffy lady, gruesome personality?
Yes, I am. I know you're related, and I was afraid to come to you because I thought you'd be angry, but I don't know who else to ask.
From how pale and visibly unsettled the woman is, she's clearly done something related to Valora's apprehension. It must be quite bad, too. I'm not sure how else they have grounds for detaining a woman of her position.
Well, I'm sure everything was just a big misunderstanding. Why did they arrest her? Glaring too angrily at the Inquisitor?
Emily swallows hard, grasping the hem of her skirt so hard that her knuckles start to turn white.
They found a weapon in her room, a knife covered with dried blood. It matches the wound on the victim from the other night, and so she's being taken in and charged with murder.
Jesus, woman. At that, my jaw practically hits the floor. My old batty aunt? A murderer? Impossible. And yet, why on earth was something like that in her room?
But Sir Rivian, I think that knife was there because of me.
Whoa, hold on there. Because of you? I need some more details, Emily.
She brushes her trembling fingers through her hair, inhaling and exhaling a deep breath in a visible attempt to calm herself.
Well, 2 nights ago, I was cleaning the upper halls when suddenly one of the guards approached me. He gave me a small bundle of wrapped cloth and told me it was something Lady Valora had dropped, but as she was down in the ballroom, I ought to leave it in her room when I went to clean it. I thought it was, well, a little strange, but I didn't see any reason not to trust one of the guards, so when I went to Lady Valora's chambers, I tucked the wrapped cloth inside one of her top drawers, since she is a very fastidious lady and does not like anything lying around her room.
I can tell from her crestfallen, guilty tone of voice that she's beating herself up inside for being used to frame Valora. It's difficult to really blame her, though. I can guess who the guard she spoke to with was. Must have been right after the murder. And now I think about it, didn't that brawler from earlier say he saw her in the hallway that night?
The thing is, I couldn't shake the horrible feeling that I got from speaking with the guard. The way he gave me the bundle and very slowly, quietly, told me to put it in her room. It was almost like he was threatening me. It made me feel so nervous that my hands were shaking on my way to Lady Valora's chambers. But I thought that if I complained about the guard to someone in charge, I'd be punished or mocked for it, so I said nothing.
She trails off into an almost inaudible murmur, closing her eyes for a long moment, her head drooping slowly towards the ground. The poor woman looks like she's ready for me to start yelling at her at the top of my lungs, as if she's some sort of puppy who just chewed up an expensive furniture. Of course, Valora's life is a bit more important than furniture. Only slightly, though. Well...
Oh, this is a proper mess, isn't it? Did you explain all of that to the Inquisitor, though? I'm sure he's reasonable enough to see it was a setup.
Just when I thought Emily was already white as a ghost, she seemed somehow grow a shade paler.
The thing is, sir, that wasn't all they found. There was something else. A blood-stained cloth, hidden in her personal chest, which only she has the key to. I didn't put it there, and only Silas and I hold the master keys for the guest chambers. But I know it wasn't Silas. I'd sooner trust him before myself. And so, Lady Valora must have known about the cloth.
Don't you dare make me doubt Silas. Don't you dare. Confusion clouds my mind as I parse Emily's concerned words. Woo! I still don't see how Valora could possibly be a killer, of anything except hopes and dreams, that is. So why did she have something so incriminating? My aunt's a smart woman. Whatever she was doing with that cloth, I'm sure she knew the risk of keeping it in her room.
I'm starting to think this was a very well-planned setup. The key is just to find who's moving all the pieces into place.
I don't mention it out loud to Emily, but it sounds very plausible that those despicable murderers, those disciples of Ignatius, I think that's how you say it, are behind this too. To both kill an ambassador and worsen relations even further by framing a foreign advisor for it. It's a perfect plan to force two countries into war.
I think you're right, sir. I want to see Lady Valora freed and apologize for everything. I don't know what I should do, and I fear if I involve myself too much, my little Hazel may be in danger.
The maid gazes at me pleadingly, as if expecting me to solve everything and save the day right then and there.
You've been quite helpful, Emily. Don't be too hard on yourself. I'll find a way to figure this out. Somehow.
Somehow.
I believe in you, sir. The king always put such faith in your father to solve every problem that came up, and I'm sure you'll become even more famous than he was.
I wince a little at my father, as my father is brought up, like always. Still, Emily means well, so it's difficult to get too annoyed at her. That, and I'm pretty sure she'd burst into tears if I so much gave her an angry look right now.
Yes. Well, that aside, I'll reach out to you should I have any questions. In the meantime, don't go taking any more parcels from strangers, eh?
As you say, sir. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you.
She gives me She have to slam the door. She gives me a grateful curtsy and hurries back to the door, quietly slipping into the hall. I'm left with a renewed, uncomfortable sense of responsibility, and I sigh quietly, rubbing the bridge of my nose. It's one thing to look out for myself, but now I have to try and get Valora off the hook too. As much as I try to put on a brave face for Emily, I feel like this is quickly measuring up to an impossible task. As if to echo my sentiments, distant thunder rumbles lowly, like the growl of some unseen danger. My stomach growls, too, reminding me that I haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. Oh, we ate something! We ate something! I'm such a kid. There's so much going on that I didn't even think about it. Well, I could always stand to lose a few pounds, probably. You a squishy boy, Rivian. After staring oh my god, May! You can do this, it's not hard! Contemplatively out my window for a few minutes, I head into the hallway, slowly closing the door behind me. Today's the last day of the celebration, so it's the only chance I have to catch the murderer and clear my aunt's name. I'll try to investigate some more and find something that'll give me a hint as to who framed Valora and how. And then tomorrow I'll finally be able to flee this hellhole and head back home to where I belong. Oh, that was a mighty hiccup there. I'm going to seriously think twice before ever leaving the house again. And that's when Rivian became a recluse. I make my way from the guest rooms to the upper level of the main hall, hearing the chattering of voices grow steadily louder. It's a welcome change from the eerie silence of last night, so despite my dislike of crowds, I find myself actually a little relieved. When I reach the main hall, I can quickly see the number of guests that are gathered here to talk and be served elegant finger foods, courtesy of the numerous servants drifting around with trays. The rain outside is pouring down, doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, so the castle will probably be packed for most of the day. I grab a cup of tea and some strange but delicious sweet cake that I've never seen before and tuck into it while walking around the upper balcony. I'm hoping for a glimpse of Silas, Alistair, or the Brawler Man since... Alistair. Oh, right. Or that Brawler Man, Shrek, since they might be able to give me a few more clues. This cake is really good. Ah, Rivian's thoughts are so simple. As I chew the sweet sponginess with relish, my eyes suddenly catch a familiar black ponytail standing not far off. God, I don't want to talk to him! A ponytail attached to its owner, of course, whose tall, slim figure and bespectacled face I recognize clearly. Slowly swallowing the rest of the cake, I hurry over to the table. The table glasses is furtively lurking over. Glasses. When I get close, I resist the temptation to tug at his temptingly fluffy, tied-back hair and instead just clear my throat loudly. That is not how you grease. You do not pull on a man's ponytail. You don't do that.
Just the man I wanted to see.
Linnaeus, I need something to write. Why don't I have pens in here? Why do I not have pens? Linnaeus. Just there we go. We got it. That's how you say it. Just and then a nay and then is. All right. Keep that. I'm gonna keep that. Just how do I don't know how to erase this. Oh god. How do I erase? There we go. Hold on, I'm slowly erasing this. That's fine. Okay. Let us continue. My still in draw mode. God help me. There we go. No! How to pronounce his name is gone! Shit! I needed that! No! 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 There! I will not lose that! Continue with game. I wrote down notes on the game. Give me a second. Okay. Whoa. I'm laughing way too hard at that. So, I got how to pronounce his name written down right next to him with a little arrow. We will not forget. We will never forget how to pronounce this man's name ever again. Shall we continue? He jumps a little, whirling around to face me with a startled hand caught in the cookie jar sort of expression. Oh god.
What are you doing so shadily over here? Wait a moment, is that wine? It's not even noon yet.
You dirty boy!
Well, excuse me, Mr. High and Mighty. If you had to detain your own king's blasted advisor, you'd be drinking your pain away too.
In his hand, Linnaeus holds a half-empty glass of wine, and it looks like he's about to reach for the bottle when I snuck up on him.
Besides, I'm just getting a brief break from trying to solve this ridiculous affair. I'm not looking forward to questioning your old witch of an aunt, let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
At least we agree she's an awful old lady then. But I assure you, Linnaeus, there's no way she could be a murderer. You must know that.
He lets out a heavy sigh, taking a long drink of the ruby liquid in his cup, before pushing up his glasses and turning his gaze reluctantly towards me.
I can't deny the facts, Madison. The cloth hidden in her room, along with the maid's testimony of being threatened by a suspicious guard, right after you encountered that guard last night, is about as incriminating as you can get. Do I actually believe she did it? No. But the politics of the matter demand that someone is punished for this crime, or else our relations with Pruivia will grow even worse.
Oh, it's Pruivia. Whoops. He sounds unusually grim for one. I can tell he's not happy with the position he's in. As much as I'd like to be angry with him, it's hard to hate the man just for doing his job.
The real culprit is still out there, you know. I'll be damned if I don't get to him before the celebration is over. And when I do, you're writing my aunt an apology letter.
Oh shit. Oh, God damn it. Why did I start this? Why am I drawing on the screen? An amused, curious smirk crosses Linnaeus' sharp features, his eyes glimmering at me with interest behind his
Am I
glasses.
now? Well, best of luck to you. I've already questioned everyone involved, but perhaps you want to start with your attacker from last night, who firmly testifies that your aunt collaborated with him to murder the ambassador. Or maybe you could ask Valora's own ward, that boy, Alistair.
My eyes widen at Linnaeus's added description of the boy. Alistair's my aunt's ward? Well, it is true she's currently childless. Her only daughter ran away from home, and come to think of it, I can't imagine why, Alistair said something about his guardian being in a bad mood the other day, didn't he? Perhaps she took him off the streets, and that's why he's so jittery and anxious all the time, poor fella. If I had to spend every waking hour with Valora, I'd probably be at my wit's end too.
I see. Well, I suppose I'll start sniffing out some clues then. By the way, Linnaeus, why were you giving me that odd look the other night?
There we go.
Back when I was being detained in your office.
The Inquisitor only shrugs at that, topping off his glass of wine before turning slightly away.
Why indeed? I knew you had neither the guts nor the spine to kill a man. But if you were in the gardens during the murder, you were almost certainly seen by the true culprit. I figured I could keep your impulsive self safe for the rest of the party, locked in a guarded room. But clearly, you prefer to rely on that bastard Chaumont instead. A questionable decision.
Not like you told me your plan. Linnaeus shakes his head disapprovingly, gaze darkening with mistrust.
Luckily for
I've learned
him,
his
everyone
name.
seems to have forgotten about the nasty political affairs he was rumored to be caught up in a few years ago. Ah well, it's your reputation, Barrison, and your life.
Thanks, I guess. Thanks. With that markedly cool flippant statement, he pushes up his glasses and turns away, striding briskly towards the stairs. Even though my first instinct is to brush them off as petty dislike, Linnaeus's words remain ringing distantly in my ears. I laughed so hard, I just can't. My throat is just ruined. I've yet to hear a positive thing about Franz from anyone. It's difficult to ignore all the suspicion when it keeps piling up. I eye the wine table for a longing moment. No, Rivian, getting completely sozzled is not going to help your investigation. No, it's just no time to get sozzled. Okay. I actually gotta end it here. My voice is completely wrecked. I will continue this episode in the next episode. God, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, I'll continue this episode in the next episode. We'll continue this lovely scene in the next episode. I made a horrible mistake drawing on the screen. I'm so sorry. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.